Good morning.
It's not morning. It's 2:30 p.m.
It's good morning.
It's 2:30 p.m.
But people watch this in the morning, right? Most of you guys watch this in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Good morning. Okay. I get it.
Come here. So Brandon is joining me today for a very special morning chat because it's the morning time.
Yes it is.
We're going to do the husband tag, and there are so many questions. So I just selected 10, and Brandon has no idea what these questions are. He will be sharing.
Apologize in advance if it's weird or awkward. But also thank you because you're going to edit most of the weird stuff, right? I'm Brandon. I'm from Korea, actually. I was born here, lived most of my life here, although not all the way through. But in total, I've been in Korea for over 20 years. Definitely when I say that I'm from Korea, probably a lot of you are surprised because I get that reaction all the time. Mm-hmm. I work at Reebok. A lot of people think that because my work is very involved with CrossFit, that I'm some sort of CrossFit trainer. Oh, thank you. But actually, I work for Reebok as the fitness manager in training and running. Now we're focusing on fitness alone, which is why we have partnerships like CrossFit and Les Mills and UFC. Spartan Race actually is another really cool way to train and get ready for life. So, yeah. We officially started dating in July. I can't remember what year.
2012.
2012. I don't know. The years kind of blending together. 2012, and then I actually knew I wanted to marry Jen around 4 or 5 months into the relationship, which is quite fast. Because normally by that point I'm broken up with a girlfriend if it's not for real. But I didn't get a chance to propose until about, I don't know, 8 months after, was it? Something like that?
10 months.
10 months. 10 months, because I was waiting for Julie to be available to come surprise her.
Julie's my sister.
Oh, yes. It was July, then I proposed to you in May, and then we got married the following April. Mm-hmm. A little less than 2 years for the whole deal, and now we've been married for a year and
8 months.
8 months.
Yeah.
We met at church. There's a church called New Harvest. I didn't go to service, but I purposely, because I was listening to sermons online, but I wanted to find a small group, and so I had signed up for a small group. And yeah, I met her there. She was the person I sat next to in small group, and that day we shared and we were prayer partners.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you just met. Boom.
Yeah.
Talk about your life. Everything.
Yeah. I remember that week she had contacted me. He's like, yeah, yo, bro, I'm praying for you. And I'm like, yo, thanks.
And I was like, have you been praying for me? He's like, honestly, no. I'm like, yours is weak.
At least I was honest about it.
Yours is weak.
I feel like a lot of people would say it without actually meaning it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll pray for you, but not really.
Yeah. No, actually, what I said was, there was a time where I had a really good week, and then I said, oh, have you been praying for me? Because I was telling him, all this growth I was experiencing at work at the time, and he was like, yeah, no. I'm like, oh, well.
God is good.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay.
My first impression of Jen, and it's tough. My memory for these things is not great, but my first impression, the earliest memory of Jen, the thing that struck me the most was her intensity in terms of, her listening and how she talks. She's very expressive, but she's also her eye contact is very penetrating. I thought I was that way, and I think maybe I am, because actually that's one of the things. Yeah, first things she remembers about me is But anyway, yeah. So I think I was definitely impressed by that and her ability to really hear the other person, but also it just felt like she cared earnestly. Aww. And that's not as common as one would hope.
Aww. Okay, so I'll just share briefly my first impression because
I thought this was my.
It is, but then I wanna throw in just 2 cents, okay? The first cent is, that's funny because my first impression of Brandon was that his like his eye contact is so intense that I felt really self-conscious. Like I felt like he was just looking into my soul. And the other thing was, when I met Brandon, he'd actually been hungover that day. Because I forgot, he had like a work event the night before, and so he's not the Brandon I know now. He was really serious, like just not very friendly. And I remember later on when we became friends, he was talking about how most people think he's goofy, and I was like, what? I would never ever, use the term goofy with you. But I hadn't actually met Brandon the first time that I met him. He was like a different person, and I kind of thought he wasn't the nicest person. But he's the nicest person. What? Kind, not nice.
Okay.
Kind. Nice, I feel like there's like weakness associated there, but Brandon's very kind. Okay.
I feel like our first official but kind of unofficial date was at Cereal Gourmet. Right?
Was that before or after the picnic?
Oh yeah, the picnic was probably before.
I don't think cereal was a date though. Although he did pay for dinner and we had a bottle of wine and then we watched a movie and then you lied down on my lap.
Sounds like a date to me.
No, but it wasn't. There was no intention of us dating there.
That's some really strange.
And it's funny because I remember I like dressed up that night because I was gonna go to like an event after.
Yeah.
After dinner, but I ended up not going and I hung out with him. Okay, anyway. Okay, I'm sorry, you tell.
Since it's husband tag, I'm going to talk about Cereal Gourmet.
Okay. Wow, I didn't think that you thought that was a date.
I'm not saying that it was a date, and that's why I was saying it was the official but unofficial, but I felt like it just kind of felt like a date. Punigi, right? Like,
okay.
We were at a restaurant in Karosugir. Gourmet was in the title, so that's fancy. The food I remember being very average.
Yeah, I think you wanted the salmon, but I got it, and I was like, I'm ordering the salmon.
Oh, that's right. And I purposely changed it because I didn't want to get the same thing.
Yeah.
And then, and then we just kind of hung out and talked, and then you ended up canceling your plans and coming over to my place.
I did.
And then I laid down on her lap.
No.
Really what happened.
The reason you laid down too is because Brandon's a big guy. He's a big guy, and I remember we're sitting on the couch, and he just looked so uncomfortable, and I sat really far away to give him as much room as possible, but he just looked so comfortable because he wanted to lie down, and his legs were up, so I was like, you know what, like, there was a pillow around, so I put it on my lap, and I was like, hey, it'd be totally cool if you just wanted to lie down. He was like, okay. And he totally did. I'm like, damn, what a weirdo.
Is this the candle you talked about?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that video yet. It smells so good.
So it's so good. See? Brandon approved.
Yeah. Like, of all the candles, this is my favorite.
Really? Of all the candles?
I would say probably because it makes me want to eat like cookies.
But it's like you don't have to though because you're already smelling it.
No, if I saw a cookie in front of me, I'd destroy that cookie because it's making me want this.
Oh, I was just like, man, this is like a nice sweet tooth craving fix. No?
It wasn't a specific moment. Because I don't believe in love in a sense that it's like this emotional torrent. I guess I should have said torrent of emotions. For me, I guess love is a verb. Like, unfortunately, I'm quoting John Mayer, but he wasn't the first guy to say that. It's action based, what you do. So the definition that I always go to is love is doing what's best for the other person, right? And so it was gradual. It was because we were developing a really deep and meaningful relationship, and we were learning how to support each other. We were really experiencing a lot of the same areas of growth that were, helping each other to get to new levels of growth, even though we were in different jobs. Similar experiences though. And then we just started dating, and then, some of the romance started to kindle, and, it just got better and better after time.
When did you know I was the one? Like, when were you like, you know what? I'm gonna put a ring on that finger.
I think it was just really just stepping back, looking and seeing that, like, the experiences we were having, it's just something that just I couldn't make up. It seemed very divine, I guess, the what we were going through, and the one thing I always needed to know because by that time we were dating anyway, the one thing that I needed assurance of is that God's hand is in the relationship and that I see marriage as a real possibility, and both of those things were happening. Just felt right. I don't know, it's like
There's so many, right, babe?
yeah, really just one favorite? I think my favorite quality is, when she's playful. It's like my favorite thing in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
That's your favorite, huh? Wow,
Yeah.
playful.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that you care and you listen and you're intent, but like when you're playful and giggly and just kind of messing around, it just makes me really happy, yeah.
I didn't know that. Can you give an example of that?
Was it yesterday or the morning before? You just woke up and you were like super playful. And it was like one of those times where I was not quite as playful as you. Well, I guess in the mornings I'm just generally not that happy. But you were just like, how do you sleep? How do I look? I look such cool.
First thing in the morning, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm a sucker for like sweaters, especially if they're long or flowy or just seems really cozy.
I didn't know this.
You didn't know that?
No, babe, I didn't know you
shoot.
had a thing for long and flowy sweaters. Do I even have any long and flowy sweaters?
And I'm not saying long as in like past your knees or something, but I feel like when you wear like the cardigans or whatever that sort of, drape a little and they have a little bit of a nice fall to them.
What about makeup look?
Makeup look?
I mean, not that my makeup changes very much.
Yeah, I just feel like the only real change you make is when you do color on your lips. That was a very recent change, which I like. I like the variety there, but I think in general, it's just I like that your makeup is, not too loud. You do what I appreciate, which is to make it look very natural, but not like doesn't look like you have makeup on. It just accentuates things, and so it's cool.
So the no makeup is your
yeah
thing?
yeah okay. I forgot that that's a thing. The no makeup. Jenn makes me feel loved when she massages my feet.
Oh yeah.
I love it when she touches my feet, especially after a hard day of work. There's something about it. Yeah.
You do like that, huh?
Yeah. And sometimes she does it when it smells too. She smells it and she's
I
like,
do. I'm like, can I smell it, please?
I don't like it, but sometimes she weirdly.
No, it's really cute when he'll come home from work and then go straight to the bathroom, and he goes to wash his feet, and then he dries it and comes over to the couch and then just plops them right on my lap.
I love how she used plop like it's cute, but there's 13 monsters like boom.
No, seriously, there's sometimes it's so heavy and I have to like move it because he cuts off the circulation on my legs.
But I just feel loved.
Yeah.
You already do, and it's goldfish.
I don't eat it every day. I do not eat it every day. I wish I could, but it's hard to find it. It's so expensive here.
But I gotta qualify. Whenever Jenn goes through things, whether it's food or candles or whatever, it's in phases. Like it goes hot and heavy for a month or two, and then it's something else. The goldfish one has been the longest, phase of your. Yeah. I know you like pizza.
I wouldn't eat pizza.
But you wouldn't eat pizza every day. I should know this, but I don't.
No, because I don't know. I want you to tell me. I'm like, ooh, what's he gonna say?
Yeah, I don't think you have like a specific food craving other than snacks. I mean, salt and vinegar chips and goldfish.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, salt and vinegar chips.
Yeah.
Yum.
I mean, as far as food goes, as long as you have like sriracha or Tabasco that you can just put all over everything, that could possibly be it. So maybe it's more like hot sauce, salt and vinegar chips, and goldfish.
I'm really healthy, guys. I don't eat it all the time, but yeah, I do love those things. Yeah. All right, last question, baby. You're doing very well. You're doing so well. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think it's her ability to get people engaged in a story, especially in person. And this kind of goes back to her listening and stuff. But like when she tells about something that she really loves, or whatever, just the way that she expresses herself. So yeah, I think it's just her ability to tell stories and engage people. And she remembers like the emotions of how she experienced it in such great detail that she's able to really help you live what she experienced in a way that I could never do.
I thought you were gonna say Brooklyn Grandma.
Oh, that's a really good one. Have you showed them your Brooklyn Grandma?
Nope.
Maybe that should be your outro.
Well, Brandon, I thank you for joining us, and thank you all very much for watching. Brooklyn Grandma. Brooklyn Grandma that's been smoking her whole life. That's what that voice is.
So we have to move to Brooklyn so she has an excuse to do that later. Have a good day, guys. Apparently it's morning over there. The sun is setting over here.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.